What it do, y'all, and welcome back to my channel. So for today's video, I'm finally bringing you guys a roundup of items that I have tested out thoroughly and I have my opinions on. It has taken some time for me to get to doing this video, so a lot of these are actually quite old, but I did still want to give you guys my opinions on them and then slowly file them away in my collection. My collection has definitely changed more as I have gotten more opinions on certain items, and of course since I have moved, so some of these items may honestly be immediately kind of exiting into my declutter. I have quite a few friends that love to get my backup makeup and unwanted makeup basically, and so yeah, we will be going through these as I always tend to. I will not be talking about eyeshadow palettes in this video. I almost never do. I do definitely have quite a plethora of eyeshadow palettes down the pike that will be getting reviewed, so I would expect an eyeshadow palette roundup from me within the next month or so. But if you are interested in any other items makeup related that I like to review here on my channel, let's just dive on in. Alrighty, so I have everything laid out, and honestly, now that it's laid out, it's not as much as I thought it was, but nonetheless, I was still avoiding it. So let's just dive on in. First, as always, I'm gonna go in the category or the steps that I like to apply makeup, and let's dive into this primer. Now, I picked this up last February because this is a black owned brand. Like I said, these things have been sitting in my collection for quite some time, or not last February, this previous February that just passed. And this is the Range Beauty True Intentions Bronzing Primer. This is actually a really nice bronzing primer. It gives a nice kind of lit from within illumination, but it dries down, so it does not conflict with my combination oily skin. I find that this still does a really good job at controlling the oils, but allowing me to get that skin-like finish that I enjoy. If you are somebody that is very familiar with my obsession of this Hemish primer, this is pretty much, I would say, a darker skin friendlier version. That said, this Hemish is definitely dark skin friendly. It just appears not to be because it has that white base, whereas this clearly has a more brownish base, so it works probably for even wider range of individuals. I absolutely love this primer. This is definitely a primer that is going to stay in my collection, and I'm going to get so much use out of it. Going along with that, I also picked up this sampler set from Range Beauty, once again for Black History Month, when I was still very much planning ahead to do my Heritage Month series. I really want to get back into it. I just have not been able to plan ahead to continue with that series, and I got a lot of use out of these respective samples. I actually strongly recommend you doing this because the shades that I thought I was going to be did not work out. That said, this is a really nice foundation. I can see me getting a full size, and like I said, I have the samples, so if I ever kind of decide, oh well, I want this, I want that, I can definitely go back to it. The samples are also a really nice size for concealer, so if you find a range where you're the darkest shade and you can use the lightest shade for a concealer, you have that option and that versatility. And yeah, so pretty much the shade that I used all over was the Heat Wave shade. That's why you can see it's pretty much completely finished. And then as for concealer, which I was actually using Soul. So I wasn't a huge fan of the undertones, but the actual color was the best. So yeah, there is that. I will probably continue to use the rest of these samples to get even more use out of the products that I did pick up. If I can't for some reason, I have plenty of friends that I'm sure would love to get at least a sample of a decent foundation. Whether they choose to buy it in the future, that's up to them. But that is the foundation. I absolutely love it. And yeah, that was the only foundation that I have in this roundup. Continuing on with singular products in respective categories, I have one concealer. This is the Juvia's Place concealer. I picked this up when I was doing a head-to-head between Juvia's Place and LYS. I have this in the shade 11, and although this isn't the perfect concealer shade for me, this is a whole heck of a lot better than the previous shade that I picked up. I like this concealer. I definitely think that it is some coverage, so if you're not somebody who likes full coverage, I definitely would not recommend this. That said, when I use this concealer, I use a dot in each respective zone that I conceal. It has so much coverage and it blends so long, if that makes sense, that it's just too much for me to use my normal amount of concealer with this. So definitely take that into advisement if you pick that up. But that said, with that knowledge, I know that that concealer will last me a very, very long time, which is good in some cases. I'm not the type of person that loves to really review or get a lot of very different concealers. It's just not a thing that I enjoy collecting or having multiples of. So if you are somebody like me, getting a concealer like that, which is extremely affordable and you know will last a very long time, can be more beneficial to you than maybe getting a concealer that you know you'll go through very, very quickly. So there is that. All three of those products that I have already just talked about, I really did enjoy and I like them and I would recommend them. But as I said, those were kind of one-off, so I can't really give you guys like my favorite of between them because they're all in their own respective categories. Let's do some bronzer, if you will. I have two different bronzers to talk about in this roundup. One is cream, one is not. So I also got some products from North Face, once again, right from that Black owned brand collection of purchasing that I picked up. This is in the shade Cinnamon. Now this is pretty much my skin tone, which I was quite a bit disappointed in, so I would definitely love to try a darker shade. This is a cream bronzer, but it's not super like petroleum jelly based. This is a thicker product, which I enjoy. It allows me to really pick up however much or however little I want, and it blends really nicely. So that's why I'm not opposed to picking up more. I just really haven't. But yeah, the brand is Skin Glass. I always end up saying North Face for some unknown reason. And there's some more products from this brand that I'll be talking about in just a second. And I love how small it is. It's small, compact, cute. It blends in perfectly, and it really does allow you to get a full kind of skin glass effect, like they say in the name of the brand. As for a powder bronzer that I picked up, once again, for that one video where I was comparing LYS and Juvia's Place, I have this baby, and this is in the shade Strength, and they consider this their dark color. I actually think that this is a nice powder. It's nice, it's finely milled, it's a powder, so it blends. It is matte though, and one thing about me when it comes to matte bronzers, at least currently, I'm not the biggest fan of them. I would prefer it to be at least a matte, not flat, and I find this to be somewhat of a matte, not flat. That's why I haven't really reached for this very often, and it did not make it into my top 5 bronzers of all time, holy grail status, because it does not fit all of my particular requirements. That said, it is a great powder, and if you are somebody who wants something that's going to be a little bit more of a matter finish, I would definitely recommend you check that out, and it's quite affordable. I typically like to give myself a powder and a cream recommendation, and once again, since I only have one of each, we're just going to say I recommend them both because they both are good products. Then I usually do powder, so let's dive into just typical normal powder, and I have one of each from Juvia's Place and LYS. Are you getting a theme here? So the Juvia's Place powder is this baby right here, and this is in the shade Zaria. This is actually a really nice powder. It works for under my under eyes. I thought it was going to be a little bit too dark, but I find that it's not like extremely pigmented in the color. But the powder is actually quite nice. I have used this quite a few times. I find that it sets the zones that I apply quite nicely, and this is definitely a powder that I will definitely reach for coming in the future. I also have this LYS powder, and this one is in the shade Resilience, which is a translucent powder, and you know, it's translucent. I love a translucent powder better. I do remember that there is a difference between the overall finish and the effect of these products, and basically what I will say is, if you are somebody who wants something that is if you are somebody who wants something that's going to be very, very flat and just no life at all, I would say go for the Juvia's. I felt like the LYS gave me a little bit more life. I actually liked the color tone better on my skin tone as well. And I will go ahead and link that video down below for you guys so that you guys can see pretty much a lot of these products applied and talked about on my face. But yeah, they're definitely products built for different people. It just depends. And if we're saying like which one am I going to reach for more, I probably will reach for the LYS, as I found it was just a little bit better finely milled in the grand scheme of things, at least when I was applying it in the long term. So now let's dive into some face palettes, shall we? I have 3 different face palettes, all with a variety of different kind of combinations of products inside. First, I have this Juvia's Place blush palette, and this is volume 1. I had previously never tried this formulation. I want to say I have some other Juvia's Place products, but just not in this kind of compact. We get a beautiful orange and then a nice kind of mauvey purpley tone. Absolutely love this. This is highly pigmented, highly blendable, nothing really to be mad about when it comes to this particular product. I highly recommend it. The Glam Light and Garfield palette, and I was so excited for this. I felt like I did a really good job because I picked this up, I want to say during the holiday season, when I feel like they were like putting everything on sale and I was interested in a whole lot of things. And what I will say is I just don't love it. I don't love it. I love my other face palette a lot more. I find that this highlighter in between is just too icy for my skin tone. And the blushes, although are cute, they're just not great. This is not a palette that I would highly recommend. It's not terrible, but it just did not hit what the previous palette hit for me, and then just some of these other palettes that I have to review with you guys. The last palette I'm going to be reviewing is an old one. I think this is no longer even available. This is a Pat McGrath Divine Blush in the trio Supernova Siren. I got this when this went on sale at, I want to say, Ulta. I absolutely love this palette. I knew I would love this palette, but I didn't want to pay full price because I'm not paying full price for Pat McGrath. So I got this beautiful bronzer, which I already have a single pack of. Oh, I forgot this bronzer in my top bronzer video. That's alarming. That's actually very alarming. I might need to rectify that because okay. But I also got this blush and this beautiful highlighter. I absolutely love this. I absolutely love this, and this will forever be a top contender when it comes to my face palette collection. And if we're talking about these 3, granted, like I said, they all kind of have different positives and negatives, I would highly recommend this Pat McGrath. I just love her formulas a lot more. They're more sophisticated, thankfully, because they are significantly more expensive. But I love that this palette gives me a bronzer, a blush, and a highlighter, and they all work so nicely. I'm really actually concerned that I forgot about the Juvia's or the Pat McGrath bronzer. I'm very concerned that I forgot about that. Okay, let's keep it going though. So I'm gonna jump just a little bit and we're gonna do some brow products. Yeah, let's do some brow products and then we'll continue on with the face. So I have just 2 products, 1 brow pencil and 1 brow gel. The brow pencil I have is from Juvia's Place, and this is in the shade dark brown. I actually like this. I like this. There's nothing really bad about this product. I found that this is not overly pigmented, overly soft, overly waxy, any of that. It's just a really good solid pencil. The biggest downfall is that you have to buy this from their website, which is just honestly quite annoying. As for the brow gel, I believe when I went to buy, they did not have a clear, or the clear was out of stock. I don't remember which one. Not a huge fan of the brow gel, but I have it, so I will use it, do not worry. And I got this in dark brown as well. I just felt like it just puts a bunch of product in my brows and does not necessarily work on keeping my brows tamed and in the section or the placement that I placed them in. So yeah, that's what I have to say about that. Really quickly, once again, let's just kind of do a detour. And I have one setting spray. This is from Juvia's Place. I actually think this is a really good setting spray, like quite good. I felt that this was a good kind of combination of the two setting sprays that I currently use every time I sit down here, which is the Monica Dar matte setting spray and then the LYS setting spray. I feel like this is just a good combination of both. So this will definitely be one that I get a lot of use out of, and I highly recommend that. I like it because I find that it like settles the products on your face, but also make sure that your products sit on your face as they are at that current moment. We have some mascara. Yes, I'm continuing to jump around. So one mascara was actually sent to me, and this is from Queen Musia. I don't know. And this is in their shade Simply Black. From what I can remember, this was a new product, and this is supposed to be a volumizing mascara. Unfortunately for me, I was only able to try this 2 times. There's something in this formula that my eyes do not like. I had multiple allergic reactions after trying this, which is very sad. I want to say that this had a lot of claims, like it was natural, like vegan, all of these things, and yeah, unfortunately it just did not work for me. So unfortunately that's going in the trash. I prefer not to share mascaras even with my closest friends and family, so that unfortunately is going in the trash. I do truly appreciate the brand for sending it to me, and I'm happy I was able to try it a couple of times. I will say from what I tried, it wasn't like the end all be all. I didn't find that it gave me a whole lot of volume, but yeah, it's unfortunately got to go. Another mascara that I tried is this LYS Lash Confidence, and what I will say is that it's a decent kind of run-of-the-mill mascara. Is this one that I would run to repurchase once I finish it? No, I just don't think that it really did a whole heck of a lot. But that said, I do tend to wear lashes pretty much every time I sit down to film, and of course today when I say that, I'm not wearing lashes, but most of the time I do wear lashes, so this will be a decent solid enough product to get my lashes prepped for putting on false lashes. So yeah, there is that. I wouldn't highly recommend this, but then again, it didn't give me an allergic reaction, so there you go. One quick eyeshadow type product. It's not an actual palette or products, so that's why I'm going to throw it in this. And this is a multi-chrome pigment from Danessa Myricks. I have this in the shade Twin Flames. I'm pretty sure I got this for free with like a Beautylish order. It's really nice. This is the absolute perfect quantity of this types of product. I don't use these very often. Funny enough, once again, I am wearing a liquid eyeshadow today. Yes, I am. But either way, I actually like this. I think this is perfect. This is the type of product that I will reach to put on my inner corner if I want to have like a liquid version for whatever reason. And yeah, I think it's great. I don't think you need the full size. I think you can get some form of sample, and that will last you quite some time. Okay, we're getting back into the cheek products, and we only have three more categories left. I have 2 highlighters to talk to you guys about. One is from Rare Beauty, and this is a second color that I wanted to pick up, and this is in the shade Reveal. And as you can see, this is this beautiful kind of orange tangerine type tone. This is too dark for me. It's dark. I have to be very, very careful when I apply this, otherwise you will definitely see a cast, which is so disappointing. Like, the level of disappointment is high. It is quite high actually. And yeah, that's pretty much it. It's a beautiful product. I already love and adore my other highlighter from this range. It was just, I wanted to try a new shade and I thought it would work, and it's too dark, so it will definitely be staying. I absolutely love that product too much to get rid of it, but it's definitely going to be one where like you don't see it fully on my cheeks, you're just going to see it smattering all over my cheeks. And the other highlighter is from Juvia's Place. I've always wanted to try these, but this was such an old formula, and you know, sometimes it's okay not to go back to an old formula, but you can definitely tell it's an older formula if you get what I mean. I like it, it works. kudos. I'm happy that it worked for that video. I really had a lot of fun comparing Juvia's Place and LYS, and I hope that you guys did enjoy that video as well. Now we're diving into now we're diving into blushes. More cream blush from, or a cream blush from North Face or Skin Glass. I got this in the shade Flush, and it's this beautiful berry tone. Once again, like I said, the thing I love about this brand is, yes, it's a cream product, but it's a drier cream. So you really get the actual pigment. You don't get an unnecessary amount of sheen on your cheeks or anything like that. I definitely want to get some more of these. I actually should do that now. I will look into doing that now because I actually really like the formula. It was just, I need more. I need more. And if you're wondering, that formula reminds me very similar to Finding Ferdinand. So they have these where it's a little bit drier. Now the Finding Ferdinand, I would say, is slightly drier than the Skin Glass, but they pretty much have the same consistency. Where they're dry, you can pick them up and they blend and apply beautifully on the skin, and they really give you the pigment that you desire. Keeping it going, I got 2 of the newer sticks from LYS. These are their like shimmery toned sticks. Love these. I ended up doing, I think, a short in addition to a full video swatching these among some other cream cheek blushes that I'll be talking about today. Absolutely love these. I would love to have the whole collection and range if we're being honest, but do I need it? No, I don't. And I don't have the space. I don't have the space. So I'm not gonna do that to myself, but it's really pretty. And yeah, I love the 2 shades that I have. And if you're wondering, the shades I have is Unfazed and Courageous, and I highly recommend you getting them. LYS does a lot of 30% off sales. If my code down below or my link down below still works, I would highly recommend you use that to get some percentage off. I genuinely don't even know if it still works. So let me know if you try it and it doesn't, because then I'll get rid of the link. But either way, the products are really good. Another really good product is this baby. This is the Juvia's Place, their version of like glowy cream cheeks, and this is in the shade Barbie Rose Gold Glow. What I will say is this gives a lot more of the glow than the LYS. The LYS gives you that pigment and glow, a very beautiful happy medium, whereas this one I felt like was a little bit closer to like a glowy topper blush product than like an actual blush. So keep that in mind in case you want a particular type of finish, or you like to layer on a matte blush and then a shimmery blush, because you will need to probably put a powder or a matte cream blush under this to really make sure you get a full amount of pigment on your cheeks. A disappointing product, which I was honestly astonished by, is this Kofi blush. This is their Garland Glow, and I just can't seem to get on with this product. No matter what I do, it just doesn't seem to work for me. It is one of those products where you just push it out of this kind of packaging. I tend to like to put those on the back of my hand, and I'll work it into my brush or my sponge. I tend to try this with a brush, and I'll just work it on the brush and then apply it onto my cheeks. And I did not get along with this product at all. I just don't know what it is. Typically, when it comes to Kofi, I love all of their products. They are a person of color owned brand, but just for some reason, this formula just did not work for me. So that's pretty much going to be a quick and easy declutter out of my collection. Hopefully it works for somebody else, and they get that enjoyment from it. Another product that I don't know how long it's going to stay in my collection, to be honest, is this Saie Dewy Blush. This is in the shade Spicy, and I just didn't see any pigment. No matter what I did, I saw no pigment. I see it on other people. When they post their videos, when they talk about it, it works for them. It just does not work for me. It just doesn't work for me. And you know, there comes a point where I'm just not going to force things to work for me. I have so many beautiful cream blushes that, like, why force it? So this is probably going to be another declutter immediately out of the collection. I just don't see a benefit in it. And two more cream blushes to talk about, or two more blushes to talk about. Another one that I actually got sent is from this brand, and this is Violet, and they're from France, hence the FR at the back. So they sent me one shade, which is Bisou. No, that's not the shade. That's the type of product. It's a Bisou blush in the shade Milani. I'm sorry if that's butchered. And basically it's like this like pinky salmony color. I did a short and it didn't really show up. It did not show up. I tried my absolute best to get some pigment from this thing. It just didn't work. I tried it over powder, under powder. I tried it layering it with powder. I tried it with the brush. I tried it with a sponge. It did not want to work for me. So unfortunately, this is going to be another kind of immediate declutter. I have quite a few friends that are lighter skin tone than me, and I think this type of product might work better for them. It did not appear to look good on me. At least I did not think so. So yeah, that's going to be a declutter. And then the last one is probably the most expensive of all these blushes, and this is a Dior blush. When I bought this, the world may never know, but this is in Splendid Rose, and it's a beautiful shade. It's a beautiful shade. So I'm definitely going to keep it. Beautiful, compact, beautiful product. It applies nicely. Nothing wrong with it. I'm just, when did I buy that? When did I buy that? So if we're talking about blushes and we're talking about the cream blushes, if I'm being honest, my two favorites, I love my OYS cream sticks. I love that it brings a sheen to the skin, and it's also super easy to apply, extremely pigmented, blendable, all of that. And then powder, the only powder that I have here is the Dior. So we'll go ahead and give her the crown for that. Now we have lips. Alrighty, so this is the last category that I'm going to be talking about in today's video. So thank you to all who have stayed throughout this whole video. If you liked it so far, I would love it if you give it a huge thumbs up. If you aren't already subscribed, I would love it if you hit that subscribe button. So Victoria Beckham. I guess I never did the review for this baby, but this is the lip definer. It's quite hard compared to some of my favorite lip pencils, but I like the product. It applies beautifully, it lasts long, and it works. It works for what I wanted to do, which is to help my product stay within my lip line. So I do like the product. This is definitely an easy product that I will just go ahead and place on my top drawer, and I'll reach for it. It's a brown lip liner. That's all your girl needs, a brown lip liner, and I am happy. So that is definitely one that I would highly recommend. I think this is the last product that I was actually sent in this video that I'm going to be talking about. So let's go ahead and dive into that. And that is Edam. So Edam sent me their whole range of lip balms. And if I haven't already said, I am so appreciative to all of these brands that have reached out to me and sent me products. I truly appreciate it. Even if they're just one-offs, it's so special every time I get messaged about that. And so they sent me their whole range. There's actually 5 products in this range, and I did a swatch video. It went on my Instagram, and I believe I put it here on YouTube. Maybe not. Sometimes the editing abilities, it's just really funky, the dimensions between YouTube and Instagram, so I can only sometimes put them on one or the other. Regardless, this is actually a really good formula, actually a really solid formula. I find that not only is the color nice, the packaging is really nice. I find that it really does help to moisturize my lips. I actually gave my mom, I think, 2 different shades. Yeah, I gave her the clear, and like there was like a reddish tone. My mom loves red lips. I hate them. So pretty much any red lip product that I have always goes to her, and I gave her the clear because I knew she'd get use out of those. So I now have the other 3 colors. I kind of wish, like a very easy critique, I wish that they had a sticker on the actual packaging of the products so that you knew what the shade was, because now I don't know what the shades are, which is why I was keeping those boxes. I can't pull the sticker off of those. Okay, well, that would be a critique that I would give them, but otherwise the actual product is really, really nice, and I do like these products. And yeah, I'm very happy and appreciative of the brand for sending them to me. I will throw those into respective bags and purses and stuff, and get so much use out of them. Do not worry. Then let's keep on with the lip balms. I have this random, and I do mean random. Now this is a lipstick. Let's see. I have this Jason Wu lip balm. Honestly, I don't even remember when I picked this up / where I picked it up. It's a decent enough lip balm. I definitely think that this is something that, like, if I was in Walmart and I saw it, I'd pick it up if my lips were super, super dry. Is this something I would recommend you running out to pick up and like scavenging the internet? No. No. Don't stress over that by any means. I also have this Summer Fridays liquid balm, and to be frank, I don't know what other people think about this. I think this is fine. I definitely think that their bread and butter is going to be their treatments. Those lip treatments are fantastic, and I hear they're coming out with a new shade, the lip butters. I said treatment. This baby right here is their bread and butter. I think they need to stick with those. I don't think that this was as great of a formula as I had hoped. This felt more like a lip gloss and pretty much evaporated quickly like a lip gloss does. So there is that. I'm happy I have it. Don't get me wrong. But at the end of the day, it's not one that I would super, super recommend to a whole heck of a lot of people. I have two kind of lip tints, both from K-Beauty brands. So one is from Romand, and this is in the shade Dark Coconut. This is one of the closest to a brown kind of lip stain that I've found at Yes Style, and I actually think this is really nice. I always recommend Romand products. It is like a glass water tint, so it's very thin, like watery type product, but it does apply a pigment and it's really comfortable to wear long term. And then another one is Peri Para. This is another one that like appeared to be very close to a brown, and this gives off a little bit more of an orangey tint or hue, but once again, it's a lip stain. At the end of the day, it's really pretty, and I can easily apply it with any product that I'm wearing. So definitely would recommend those. I think I have only one gloss. No, I think this is a gloss. What is this? Oh, well, this doesn't even matter. Okay, well, I guess I'll talk about that. So I have two glosses, one from Maybelline. I love this. This is the Lifter Gloss. I ended up picking this up. I don't even remember why. I think I wanted to do like a full face of drugstore or something. I picked this up. Absolutely love this. I want more. I'm not gonna lie. I have this in the shade Stone. It is a beautiful texture formula. It makes my lips look very juicy. It'll last very long. It's affordable. Highly, highly recommend that. And then I also have this Hemish lip gloss, and it's in Tangerine Coral. It's a really nice color, really nice formula. I love pretty much anything Hemish, so I will pretty much always recommend them, but it's a really good formula nonetheless. Now I have two kind of oddballs out. One is a liquid lipstick, and this is from Prados Beauty. I picked this up for Native American Heritage Month, and this is in the shade Dusk. It's a really beautiful kind of brown purpley tone. Really, really pretty. It worked beautifully. It lasted nicely. No issues with that. And then I also have a random sample of a Tom Ford lipstick, and this is in the shade Casablanca. It is like a pinky tone, but it actually will work if I have like a brownie lips liner. And since this is the closest I'm ever going to get to a Tom Ford lipstick, I decided to keep it when I was decluttering in preparation for this move. So really, really good there. The product that I was very confused about is actually this. It snuck into my lip collection. This is actually a Jaclyn Hill blush, a cream blush. I didn't like the formula of this, and the brand's no longer a thing. So this is just going to be an immediate declutter right along with the other cream blushes. And if I had to recommend like a formula, I have pretty much two main formulas that I don't have like one-offs. It's the lip balms and the lip gloss. Those are the two formulas that I have quite a few products in, and these are easy picks. So the lip balm, I would definitely recommend the Edam. I definitely think that this is the best of all of these products that I'm displaying. And then this Maybelline Lifter Gloss. easily better than even my Hemish. And like I said, I will always recommend a Hemish product, but it's not as good as those. So yeah, this has been a long video, which is why I always avoid them, but I always feel such accomplishment once I have been successful to film them. I hope that all the content here, I hope that all of the information in today's video is helpful for you, whether you are somebody who is interested in picking something up or you wanted a reason not to pick something up. But with that said, I hope to see you guys soon, and yeah, bye guys.